Hello you guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. What is up? My name is Dia. Nice of you to join us for today's video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about two fragrances from Paris Corner. This is Taskeen Caramel Cascade and this is Lactea Divina. Now these two fragrances are said to be inspired by some perfumes that I would say are probably niche, I think. This is said to be inspired by Bianco Latte, and this is said to be inspired by Blanche Bête. Now I haven't used any of those fragrances, so what I'm going to be doing in this particular video is describing to you guys what these two fragrances smell like on my skin. If this sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please definitely stick around and keep on watching. These fragrances arrived about 4 days ago. I got them on the 21st of January. Today is the 25th of January. Now, against my better judgment, I did spray them when they arrived because I was curious. I wanted to know what they smell like. So I'm gonna give you guys my very first impression of the fragrances, and then we're gonna do somewhat of like a second impressions video, but on camera, where I would spray them on my skin and try to see if there have been like any changes from the first time when I sprayed them. Let's start with Caramel Cascade, and let's take this out of the box. This is what that is looking like in the box. Oh wait, I turned it. So this is what that is looking like in the box, and it's really pretty. I really dig the color and the cap right there. This is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's 7 simplicity with elegance. All right, let's start with this one, and let's start with my first impression. And you guys, I took notes, and I don't know if you guys can see the date. Like I wrote the date right there, like January 31st, 25th. Anyway, I'm gonna put that aside. So for Caramel Cascade, my very first impression of this was that from the opening, what I got was something lactonic. It was sweet. I got some notes of caramel, and there was also something nutty. And my first suspicion was almonds, but then I went to look at the notes and there's no almonds in here, but we do have tonka bean. So I wanted to be sure whether tonka bean has like a nuttiness to it, so I did Google it, and yeah, it does have like a nuttiness to it, so that explained that. But this was pretty sweet, caramelly, nutty. I don't know if I suspect getting something slightly powdery to it, but that was my first impression. Let's keep that in mind. And I did get something that was a little reminiscent of something rubbery, but it was very slight. I'm mentioning that because I have seen so many other like reviews where people have, you know, mentioned that this is synthetic and it's rubbery, and you know, it doesn't really agree with your body chemistry and stuff like that, which is why I'm putting it in there. So I did get something slightly rubbery when I first sprayed this, but I want to see if that has changed. So let's do what is going to be more or less, or essentially my second impression. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. What? That's a nice sprayer. I like it. Oh yeah. The smell is very strong, like right from the bat. Like I get the scent from the first spray right from the bat. So this, yeah, it's still sweet. It's very lactonic. It's milky. It's lactonic, it's sweet, it's caramelly, and it's nutty. You know what? I get something that is slightly clayey, like clay. I think that might be the equivalent of Play-Doh in the States, but I'm not too sure. But I do get that very slightly. But I kind of see where people come from when they say that this smells like Play-Doh. I get it, but to be quite honest, on my skin, this smells really sweet. It smells like tonic. I really get that almond, but it's also caramelly. It's really sweet. It's really sweet. I like it. I think I might actually be one of those people whose body chemistry works with the fragrance, because some people really like it, other people are not too sure, other people just don't like it at all. But I think it works on my skin. Like my body chemistry is sweet. It's very sweet. It's lactonic. It's caramelly. And I'm not even a big fan of caramel. I like it. All right, moving on to the next one. This is Taskeen, and something about the packaging. I like it, but it's also just like, I think it's fun. I think it's fun. This is what Lactea Divina looks like, and listen, the color is working for me. I like it. Ooh, it feels cool to touch. Is it the same with this bottle? Yeah, they look and feel matte, but this one especially feels cooling to touch. I don't know whether it's because of where I preserve them. I like Caramel Cascade. I like it. Okay, moving on to Lactea Divina. First of all, let me tell you guys about my first impressions again. My notes are right here. I think I wrote a lot more for Caramel Cascade than I did for Lactea Divina. And this, of course, I wrote some more. Nope. That's just it. Okay, so my first impressions of Lactea Divina, right from the opening, I got something very lactonic. And this fragrance is not sweet. It's not necessarily sweet, but it was lactonic. And as it was drying down, I was getting like some floral notes. And then it dried down into something very almost weird, like very, very unexpected. I was picking up on something spicy, and I thought that cannot be possible. What is spice doing in a lactonic fragrance? So I did go to check the notes, and this has incense. This fragrance has incense, and I thought that was so interesting because it's kind of a weird fragrance for me. Again, this was my very first impression. I want you to keep that in mind. Right now, I can kind of smell the fragrance from the nozzle. It's nice. Let me just spray it. For our second impression. Yep. Right from the bat, I get the smell. The same thing with the Caramel Cascade. See, it's very milky. Like, so caramel Cascade is pretty lactonic. It's lactonic, but in a kind of I don't want to say in a kind of powdery way, but in a kind of powdery way, almost kind of thicker. But this is lactonic, but it's milky. It smells like milk. I mean, lactonic is milk, but I don't know if that makes sense. This is lactonic, but in a very more obvious milky way. And then I pick up on those floral notes. Oh, it is a beautiful scent. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Oh, that is nice. Yeah, the floral notes really peek through. Yeah, and there's that thing that is kind of giving spicy. I'm sure that's that incense in there. Okay, so it's not an outright sweet fragrance, but I feel like it's sweet in its own right. It's sweet in a lactonic way. It's a very grown scent. It's a very grown sweet scent, sweet lactonic scent. Again, the sweet I'm putting in quotation marks because it's sweet, but it's not straight up vanilla sweet. It's smelling a lot better now than it did when it first arrived. And of course, oh wow, oh yeah, no. And the scent is strong. Like, you know how some fragrances give kind of faint? This is not faint at all. Like, you get the smell right away. Ooh, I do like it. I wasn't too sure the first time, but I do like it. Ooh, now it's competing with Caramel Cascade. Hold on. I like them both. You know, so I was a little skeptical because, again, this was receiving some very mixed, reactions. People loved it, people did not. People thought it was synthetic. This one, I haven't really seen so much reviews on it, like people's reactions to it on TikTok, but I think from the ones I've seen so far, it's been pretty positive. So I wasn't very sure of these two, honestly. Like, I didn't know if it was such a good idea, because in the first place, I am not the biggest fan of lactonic fragrances. I don't mind them. I think there was one that I reviewed on my channel like some time back. That's from Commodity. It was like the milk Commodity. That was a very interesting fragrance too. It was like a salty milky fragrance. I thought that was interesting. Actually, there's another one from Bath and Body Works that I actually surprisingly like. This is the milk, like the perfume mist, and I can potentially see this as a nice, like a good layering option for the both of them. This particular perfume mist from Bath and Body Works, it has notes of sugared oats and whipped milk, and this smells like a sweet lactonic scent. And they do say oats, but it's kind of giving me rice. It's kind of giving rice, and I like it. It's sweet. I like it. I honestly feel like this one will be a very good layering option for both of the fragrances. Like, yeah, when it comes to projection, both of these fragrances are pretty strong in their own regard, honestly, but they're not overly strong fragrances, but they're pretty strong. Like, they're not faint at all. Oh yeah, I really like Caramel Cascade. I feel like the more that it dries down on my skin, the more that I get like the sweetness in it. It really dries down into something very vanilla with caramel vanilla, slightly powdery. I really like Caramel Cascade. But going back to what I was saying, so with projection, these I think will project pretty nicely. I'm yet to test them out in regards to like the longevity and stuff like that. So I'm not going to post this video right away because I want to keep testing these fragrances out. Once I use these fragrances a lot more and then I get, you know, the data on those, I will come back and I will update this particular video. But for now, I'm gonna leave it at that. I think that of these two, I would say that Taskeen Caramel Cascade is my favorite. I do find this one to be a little bizarre, but I feel like it works. But it's still kind of weird to me. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here for today. If I get any new inputs, I'll come back and I'll update it. And this video will come out when it comes out, but yeah, not anytime soon. This is like you know, for the nearby future, because school is going to officially reopen on Monday. Today's Saturday, and I probably shouldn't even be filming this video, but I play risky like that. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Okay, you guys, let's talk about the longevity of these two fragrances. Now, on average, I think that you're gonna get an 8 to 10 hours plus of longevity on clothes. They do perform slightly different on skin. I did realize that although Lactea Divina, my light is very high, but although Lactea Divina projects a lot more than Caramel Cascade seems to be longer lasting on skin than Lactea Divina. Now, I've noticed that when I have this on my skin, as it's fading away, it leaves this very sweet, warm vanilla base. I don't get too much of that caramel and the nuttiness in like the fragrance. What is left is really that sweet, vanilla, warm base with a very teensy tiny bit of caramel and a teensy tiny bit of that almondiness, but it just leaves that really sweet, warm vanilla base, and I love that. Now for Lactea Divina, I feel like the scent itself stays kind of consistent, but it does fade away on skin. Yeah, it does. The scent stays pretty consistent. It just fades away, which is normal with fragrances. They tend to do that. But yeah, on skin, I do feel like Caramel Cascade is longer lasting than Lactea Divina, but they're both long lasting on clothes than they are on skin. Of course, fragrances do tend to do that. But yes, personally, I would have said that Caramel Cascade is a safe blind buy, but considering the very polarizing reactions that people have had to this fragrance, I would say it's not so much of a safe blind buy. I would definitely recommend sampling, like testing out this fragrance before you get a full bottle. But this one, I stand 10 toes. This is not a safe blind buy at all. I do like the scent. I do find the blend to be complex. I feel like the complexity gives it this air of like like grownness, like matureness. But I don't think that this is a blend that a lot of people are going to like. Granted, it's a lactonic fragrance, but we have floral notes and some spice like incense in here, and that's just it's a weird blend. It works, it does smell good, but I feel like a lot of people are probably not going to like this. And I think that if you're the kind of person who easily gets nauseous, if like certain scents easily make you want to throw up, I would be extra careful around this particular fragrance if I were you. If you want to buy this, honestly, I highly recommend sampling it, because in my opinion, it is not a safe blind buy. These two fragrances I would say are pretty unisex, but they do lean a little bit more feminine. If you're however someone who just enjoys, you know, lactonic fragrances, there is a high chance that you would like these two. I would again emphasize that you should however sample, test this out before you get a full bottle, because yeah, I love both fragrances, and I think that they will do nicely for like a daytime scent, especially in the colder weather, because you're both on the gourmand side, and the scents are pretty dense. This one I can definitely see you can wear this to work, to school. I would be a little bit more cautious about this one though, simply because it's an interesting blend. It's definitely given a certain kind of like sophistication, grownness, but the blend is given kind of niche, and because of that I don't think that everyone is gonna like this one. And so I would just be a little bit more cautious about wearing this to work or to school or to a place where you would be in an enclosed space. Just be a little cautious about that. I do think that these two fragrances are worth the money. Now I got them especially at a discounted price. I think I got the both of them for like $33. Aroma Concepts, they have these, what's the name, live sales on the TikTok shop often. If you haven't joined them, you honestly join them, because sometimes they have like the craziest deals. And so they came in a bundle. I was like, you know what, I might as well. I wasn't gonna get these honestly because of the reviews that I was seeing online, especially with this one, but I do not regret buying this one at all. I do feel like the longer this macerates, the better it's going to smell. Even just looking at how it performs on my skin after like some time has passed, I do like it. But I definitely understand why not everybody likes this fragrance, because I did get that play-doh-ness and the rubberiness in the beginning. It's still, well, the play-doh-ness I kind of get like now, like a little bit, but the rubberiness I don't get that anymore. So I want to see. I think that it's gonna get better over time. This one, well, we'll see. But yeah, I'm saying all of this to say that I'm glad that I got them anyway, because they do smell good. My final advice, however, is to just sample them and see how you feel about them before you get a full bottle. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye.